The Northern Territory's opposition leader has revealed she'll vote no at the referendum to enshrine a voice to Parliament in the Constitution. Live to Matt Cunningham in Darwin. Matt, why has she decided to do this?
Well, Andrew, it's been a long time coming, this decision. It was in February that the Country Liberal Party's rank and file decided they were going to oppose the voice to Parliament. But the parliamentary wing had been holding its cards close to its chest. Today, Leah Finocchiaro has announced she will be voting no, and she says that's because the government has failed to provide detail around how a voice to Parliament would work.
Today, the referendum pamphlet will be hitting mailboxes of Territorians, and it's very clear to me, looking at that information and, of course, off the back of the comments made by the Prime Minister at the Labor conference, that Australians and Territorians alike are not going to be receiving any greater detail on the voice to Parliament than what has been provided to date. For me, that is an inadequate level of information and represents a significant missed opportunity for the federal government to split the questions and ensure that we do have recognition of Aboriginal Australians in the Constitution and separate that question off from the question of a voice.
Leah Finocchiaro also raised concerns, Andrew, that she believed Aboriginal Territorians could be left worse off or underrepresented by the voice to Parliament. We know the Prime Minister hasn't provided the detail on what the voice will look like, but one model we have seen comes from the Karma Langton report. That has a national voice made up of 24 people. Just 3 of those people would represent some 70,000 Aboriginal Territorians, and yet 2 would represent the 7,000 Aboriginal people who live in the ACT. For Leah Finocchiaro, that was a serious concern.
At the start of the year, we felt it was very important to have a meeting with Senator Malarndirri McCarthy to get a better understanding of what it was Labor was proposing. And even at that stage, she was unable to shed any light on how it would be composed, how many representatives there would be from the Territory, and how it would work. That position has continued to be that way. There is no clarity. And for me, I don't want to see any additional bureaucracy or any ability for powerful and big states to be able to dictate what happens here in the Territory.
I spoke earlier today to Malarndirri McCarthy, the Labor Senator, and the Assistant Minister for Indigenous Health, who responded to this news.
What I would say to Leah Finocchiaro is this, that it's certainly disappointing to hear her comments this morning in relation to that. And there is still time to have that conversation. And I would say to Territorians and to all Australians that this is a critical moment in our country's history and we can make a positive change here.
Interesting that the Liberal leaders across the country are somewhat divided on this issue, Andrew. We know that there are some who support, including the Tasmanian Premier, Jeremy Rockliff, and Mark Speakman in New South Wales, but others now, including Leah Finocchiaro, saying they're going to vote no at this referendum.